Alright, I've given it some thought, and what I'm going to do is for now, I'm just going to copy the buffer again, even though it is, as we say in the business, extremely cringe. I think right now it doesn't matter, and also the thread that will be doing the copying has the time. Like, the thread that's doing the copying will be the fast one, so it's not a big deal. I expect it to take roughly another 4 milliseconds based off this per video output. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the video buffer and we're just going to copy it into the internal buffer. It gives me great pain, but for now we're going to do it, and we're just going to see how this whole thing shakes out. Yep, so we'll do the PTS and we'll go VO buff. Which one do I move? I move buff end. It's only buff start that I don't end. So I need atomic load buff VO end. So this is size T and what else do I need? We'll just take end for now. So end equals atomic load. We only need to load this once because none of the background threads can move it. So we need to do while atomic load VO start equals no. Because the background threads will increment start. It's while the subtraction of those two things is equal to capacity. But there's two cases. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a while true in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go size T start equals atomic load VO start. Because the background threads can bump up start. If end is less than start, and I think we want this to be last, not end. The problem with it being end is that you can't tell the difference between when the buffer's full and when it's empty. But the problem with it being last is you can't tell the difference. You can't tell when the buffer's empty. We might just have to make cap one bigger, one smaller. That's very dumb. But we might just have to leave empty space in the buffer. Oh my god. Can we allocate 1 extra byte? Is that a good idea? That we never use? I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, we won't be able to use it anyway because we need contiguous memory inside our frame. Do we just leave a whole ass frame empty? That's very dumb. The problem with just storing the number of things that are in the buffer instead of the end of the buffer is that the number of things in the buffer is incremented and decremented, or it's incremented by one thread and decremented by another. So it becomes like you need to synchronize that as well as the other things that need to be synchronized. Like there's too many variables that need to be atomically changed. So you can't use atomics. You need to synchronize it with the mutex, right? Well, I don't know about need to, but essentially you need to use a mutex or something equivalent, because atomics only work on the one variable, and when you need to synchronize multiple variables, you need to use something that's equivalent to a mutex, if it's not exactly a mutex. This is so dumb. I mean, memory is cheap, right, guys? Fine. Fine. We'll come back to it. To do, don't have dumbass wasted memory here. Sync num in buff. I'm sure I'll remember that for sure. This should be cat +1 then. Nope. Okay. And so if end is less than start and start minus end is equal to cap, I'm pretty sure precedence here is fine, but we'll do it anyway. That's dumb. Right, so if end is less than start, then we want to schedule yield, I guess, and continue, because there's nothing we can do. This is, I guess this is an else if. Start is less than end, and end minus start is equal to cap. Then again, there's nothing we can do. Schedule yield, continue. To do this can fail, apparently. Yes. Sketch.h. I highly doubt that's in C. It is not. Okay. Otherwise, we can mem copy into vo buff plus start. I guess it's x context of vbuff.buff and vo size. I think I'm just gonna store the size. It's kind of dumb not to. We don't really need depth. We just need size. Size. Well, we'll whatever. We don't need to, but whatever. LM size. Frame size. Frame size. Whatever. We'll do that. And then we go pipe video. And then here, we can go VO frame size equals VO codec height times VO codec width times 4. And then this becomes VO frame size, like that. Okay. All right, so we copy that memory in. That should be end, not start. And then we want to go end plus equals VO size, I guess. Frame size. Does this need to be done atomically? Yes, it does. It does need to be done atomically because the background threads need to check if next sub is less than it. Wait, no they don't. I just need to signal the semaphore. That maybe doesn't need to be atomic. I maybe can get rid of the atomic from end. That's interesting. I guess only the foreground thread touches it. Is that true? I think so. Yeah, if I'm using a semaphore, I don't think I need to worry about this. Should I use the semaphore then? I think so. Because otherwise I need to synchronize a few variables. Otherwise I need to synchronize the buff end and also the next sub. I think I'll just use a semaphore. I think that makes sense. So we'll go sem open. No. Sem post. Okay. VO sem. Okay. VO sem. And if this fails, oh, it'll only fail if it's an invalid semaphore. So we'll sem open after doing that end, and this does not need to be atomic. This does, because multiple threads will be checking it. Does this need to be atomic? Yes, because multiple threads will be checking it as well. Yes. Okay, brilliant. Okay, and so then that'll post the thread, and we can get rid of those. And when we do that, we can just break when we're done. Like that. Okay. Okay. Should that compile? I think the answer is yes. Okay, here we go. We don't have a VO. Why does time... Right, because it depends on... Okay. But I think the time spec should still be the same. I don't think that should change.